I mean, look,
our laws
we have a
used
lot
to
of
be
things
based on morality. That's why I'm sorry, but this monument to Satan in Oklahoma is wrong, because we are not a nation. I'm sorry, but we are a Christian Judeo nation. So we are based on Judeo-Christian values. That's not a religion. That is just how we put our laws together. So putting the Ten Commandments up is just a monument of where we got our laws. Putting a satanic monument up next to the Ten Commandments,
which they're trying to do in Oklahoma City,
that has nothing
right now.
to do with our country.
That's just
nothing
sheer evil.
to do. You can put that up on your own land.
Evil.
Yeah.
That does not go in front of the courthouse as a balance to the Ten Commandments, because the Ten Commandments, that's where we get our law. That's why it's in front of the courthouse. We get our law from the laws of Moses. We don't get our laws from Satan. It's truly insanity, and it's immoral. We have taken our laws. We may now be getting our laws from Satan, but it's truly immoral where we're headed.
Hey, there you have it, man. Good old Glenn Beck, man.
Oh, man. I got so much to say about that one.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Well, I mean, how obvious is it? How obvious is it that our laws don't come from the fucking Ten Commandments?
Oh, it'll be real obvious here in a second.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be really clear.
Look at the laws. Let's see. The Constitution versus the Ten Commandments. So basically, what you have is, thou shalt, have no God before me. Is that a law here?
It violates
for the Christian
Constitution.
God? No, it isn't. Thou shalt not take my name in vain. Is that against the law here? No, it isn't. Graven images. No graven images. Is that against the law? No, it isn't. I mean, just keep going through the list. Eventually, you get to murder. Okay, but basically, that's so fucking obvious. Now, does it say anything in the Ten Commandments about rape? Of course not. Does it? So basically, what you have is don't steal and don't murder. Those are the two, and then lying, don't lie. Bear false witness. That's if you're in court, that would be perjury. So we'll give them 3 out of 7.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4. Yeah.
3 out of 7. No, not or 4. I'm giving them perjury, and that's the best they can do is 3 out of freaking 10. So 7 are complete bullshit that have never been U.S. law, never will be U.S. law. And in this motherfucker's head, and he just doesn't get the point of why they put up the satanic monument thing. That the point would be to show that you're not the only religion around. Stop thinking that you have a monopoly on this shit, and that just goes right over their heads. And there's like, no, the reason you can't have satanic shit is because we don't have, our country's not based on satanic law. It's based on Christian law, which is just absolute bullshit. Guess what happens if you rape somebody? I'll tell you what, you don't have to pay their father 50 pieces of silver and marry them. That's not the way American law works. So go fuck your Bible. Go fuck it. I cannot stand people that are too thick to fucking get that. And that can explain away in their heads and make excuses. And there's double standards of what evidence is, because they don't, what they consider evidence is just as much evidence for any other religion, but they just put all that out their heads, and then they call us the assholes, the evil ones. Go fuck yourselves. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Ned.
Yeah, I'll just expand on that, Cock. After seeing
fuck
this,
you, DPR Jones.
After seeing this, being as anal as I am, I decided I'd go look at the 613 commandments of Moses, or the laws of Moses. And yeah, I did go through every damn one of them. And what I happened to find is, just like Cox said, 3 of the 10 are reflected in U.S. law. If you stretch it to 4 of the 10 in adultery, there are some states that specifically ban adultery. So best case scenario, you're at 40% of the 10 commandments. But let's look at the 613 laws in total. Now, going through all of these laws, I tried to be as generous as possible. Like I gave, Leviticus 19:35. You will not commit injustice with scales and weights. Deuteronomy 19:14. Do not move a boundary marker. Deuteronomy 22:8. Not allow pitfalls and obstacles to remain on your property. I gave shit like that, okay? Even giving those as quote-unquote laws, that meant that if we look at federal statutes, the best that you have are 13. That's 1-3 out of 613 that are reflected in 24 out of the 613 are reflected in U.S. federal law. There's an additional 13 that are reflected in state laws, and 12 of those are sexually related, and most of them can't even be enforced because they've been overruled because of the homosexuality, all of that type of thing. But at best, we're looking at 47 out of 613. Now, to put that in perspective as far as what percentage that runs to, that's about 1/2 of 1%. Not even 1%. 1/2 of 1%. Now, that's what Glenn says we're based on? I mean, here's what I don't think Glenn gets. The very laws that he's quoting, let's just go to Leviticus 19:27. Men shall not shave the hair on the sides of their head. I think Glenn's haircut, I think it'd be pretty damn tough to get that nice little neat side without getting a razor. The other ones don't shave with a beard or shave with a razor. His little beard there is a little too nice, in my opinion.
He actually shaved it since that was recorded.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say is even in half the time, he doesn't have a beard at all. And sometimes I've seen him, at least if I remember right, I may be wrong on this, but he's bald.
Yeah. And this motherfucker lives better than any of us.
Oh, exactly. Well, the next one speaks to that. Deuteronomy 15:2. Let's see how much his handlers would love it if he started pushing this. Do not pressure or claim money owed from a borrower. Really? So in other words, you borrow money, you don't have to pay it back. That's Deuteronomy 15:2. Go look it up. And then in the 7th year, all of the debts are completely evaporated. You don't even have to pay them. If you can hold out for 7 years, kind of like, whatever, you don't have to pay anything. Let's see how long he stays on the air pushing that little, wonderful Mosaic law. And then the last one, the one that we all know about, is the rapist must marry his victim and they can never divorce. Deuteronomy 22:29. Yeah, Glenn, that sounds a lot like U.S. law to me, state and federal. And I don't know if you have a daughter or not, but I damn sure hope she never gets, raped because she'll get to marry him. But, on the other hand, you will get 50 shekels out of it. So it might be a good deal overall. That's about all I got, because if I go much farther on this, I will freaking explode. I can't stand Beck. He is the antithesis of what I think is wrong with the quote-unquote journalistic society that is around that type of right-wing type propaganda stuff. So I'll get off my soapbox. Matthew, you got anything?
Yeah, real quick, guys, before we go on here, Matthew, is we got Sean Faircloth in the wings here, and we got about 10 minutes to get him on, 15 minutes. So, and plus we got the CUDA report we got to do real quick. So, go ahead, Matthew. You got about probably like 4 minutes. You're good, but all right.
Okay, I just got a couple of comments. First, I think that if Beck honestly believes that, him and guys like David Barton and Brian Fisher and all of them, I'm sure they would agree. John Hagee being another one. I think that they should actually start pushing to have the 10 Commandments replace tax law, criminal law, civil law. They should just get rid of all of the laws that we have in the country now, get rid of them completely, and just use the 613 Commandments in place of those laws. I think that would be really useful, and it would definitely help the quality of life for everyone in the U.S. Absolutely. In all seriousness, though, I consider Glenn Beck to be one step up in terms of more mainstream than Alex Jones, and should be considered about as relevant. As in, not at all. That's all I got.